Hi, this is take 3 of this because I keep going off on these tangents and not knowing what I want to talk about. But it's day 2, is the end of day 2, and I've got some animations in the game now. You got this player, this janitor guy, Mario looking. Got some it's just, I wanted to have like an in-air animation for these guys, otherwise the flat bottom doesn't really make any sense. They have this little curl-up animation, which I enjoy. I enjoy this, keeping them up in the air too, that's pretty fun. Don't know why the legs break, I still need to fix that. I mean, I'm positive it's gonna be a really easy fix. But, one other thing, water balloons that don't, nice arc. They don't do a damn thing, because I know that I'm gonna have to do something that is slightly silly. I can either do it as a variable or as a state, where every enemy is gonna have to have some kind of variable that gets switched off. But this is the thing, it's like when I think of it as a variable, like think of what I would do, it doesn't seem like it would work. Because, okay, here's the problem. So say that you have the enemy here, right? And they get over here. I don't know how to make that not make them infinitely take damage, you know what I mean? Like, so every frame... Well, I haven't gotten them all bunched up together like this before. But yeah, so like, it's kind of fun. Every frame, see you later, they're going to be taking damage, unless I have explicitly telling them not to. So having a state would be, that would be the simple thing to do. I just realized that the arm is becoming a different color, because I forgot to change that sprite. Because I wanted to change the arm to be a different color from the leg here, so that when you're crouched, it's not just totally blending in. That was before I added this little part of the gun to be separating it, so I just realized I don't really need it to be like that, but it's okay. Who knows, maybe I'll just leave it like that because who cares? I added some transparency effects. I don't know how I like this. I don't know how much I want to look into trying to do what I would like it to do, which is to just not be additive. I don't know if that's a thing I can do. I feel like it is, based on what I've seen from, like, surfaces and stuff, drawing it to the surface. That just might be outside of the scope of this. But I'm pretty happy with how the water looks right now. Oh, you know what? It's crouching. I figured it out. Crouching sets the image speed to fucking 0. Alright, cool. Let's show off some of the code that I've been doing. So here's the sprite situation. Yeah, it turns out things are a lot more simple when you just have a guy that doesn't animate as your sprite. But yeah, when you want a guy to have an idle animation. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the legs are actually completely separate from this is gonna be... I guess I should probably put the crouching guy in the crouching place. But yeah, totally separate legs. That means it's because the torso is clearly doing more sophisticated stuff than the legs, so I don't need to make animations for looking up, down, left, and right, just so that you can have the legs be doing the exact same thing. So that's all good there. Let's look at how I'm spawning. It's in here. Let's look at how I'm spawning these things. So look at all these variables. This determines where the water jet gets spawned. And a little tip, if you have, let me go back to the, well, that was stupid. Let me open that back up, because that's going to be gone. Boom. If you have your player shooting, and it seems like the bullet is not following the end, put the place where you spawn the thing in the end step code. then it will line up perfectly to where you want it to be. But yeah, so these obviously determine the X and Y, and this is for crouching. This is, so, when it gets spawned, it does X plus X, Y plus Y plus Y crouch, so that it knows that when you're crouching, if state equals crouch, then make that 5. And I also have to make it a different number. This is the only other place I change it, so before you are horrified, it's only here and here that this gets changed, because I needed to make it 1 higher for how tall the looking up crouch sprite is, which is, why do I even have a looking up for crouch sprite? You have to hold down and up at the same time. I haven't even made the sprite for it. You have to hold freaking down and up at the same ass time to be crouching and looking up, so, like, how are you gonna play like that? That's kind of superfluous, but I don't know. You know why? It's because in my head I'm thinking, maybe I'm gonna make it so that this is, like, twin stick, quote-unquote. I don't know what the term is, like, Smash TV style, where you can aim independently of your movement. This part of me is thinking, like, do I want to do that? And another part of me is thinking, you're not gonna do that. Not right now, at least. But yeah, so that's how that spawns. Another similar thing is that this is like the recoil. This is like the muzzle flash of a water jet. As you can see the animation on that. I like, it's simple, but it gets the job done pretty good. And yeah, so just another switch statement for my aimder. This is like such a powerful tool to just be able to tell what an object's owner is. That's such a powerful thing that I've picked up. But yeah, just completely manually, based on direction, set the place that should be at any given time. Another crouch variable. And yeah, enemy has a couple of states. This is just, you die. It's just a method that it will change it to state dead, and then if you're in state dead, the reason I made it a method is just so that I can set the image index to 0, and then it doesn't stay that way. Because if I have, in just step event, if I have if health is less than 0, image index equals 0, it'll just keep setting the image index to 0. So, good to have it as a method that changes the state to a state death. That's state machines. They're just, so powerful. I used to do state machines with enums, like, exclusively, where you just have, like, a switch statement, and then you're checking the variable that you assign an enum to, and you say, like, switch statement, if enum.thing equals thing, then do stuff. Like, I'm so glad that I'm using scripts now. This is not an example. In fact, I'm not really using scripts, I'm using methods, method functions. But that's neither here nor there. Nice little variable name. This is what makes the enemy get knocked back. I had to do a whole thing because it's not constantly hitting them, so I have to give them like a 10 frame buffer. It's just an arbitrary number, 10 frames. It could probably be like 2 and it would still work, because there's just like such a little gap between each segment of these things. But yeah, of course, if there's any point that it's not colliding with it, it's going to need something to tell it to keep counting up, so it's only going to stop being squirted upon if 10 frames pass, because that's the number I have it set to. So that's pretty much everything. I just want to go over what I want to end up doing, which is I want to make assets for cityscape and for like an office building kind of thing, something that the janitor would start out in, and then that would like get the story going. And yeah, the city streets, when you finally get out into the world and you start like helping people and cleaning off stuff. I am totally spitballing. Like, the reason that I'm doing graphics is because I'm expecting, and they will, by the way. This is an unconventional, like, in terms of traditionally conventional game design where you shouldn't do graphics, but hey, this is for a game jam. This stuff needs to get done. And the last game jam I did, I saved a lot of that stuff till very close to the end, and I'm trying to avoid that now. So maybe I'm going too far in the other direction, but hey, it'll be a balancing lesson. Need to make more enemies. I think in the overall design of the game, it's just going to need to be more, have a good variety of enemies, a good variety of stuff to spray water at, and if I can make it happen, one other weapon. Something of a climax where you get some kind of something. You can already probably think of something that it would be, but yeah, that's the idea. So yeah, thanks for watching.